If you're ready to find your path to success or take the success you're enjoying to the next level, stay tuned. Successful Living with Bill Knapik is on right now.
Welcome to the show, Successful Living with Bill Knapik, and today, once again, from Table 3 at the Houston Palm Restaurant with the General Manager, Leslie Barkley. Leslie, welcome to the show.
Thank you again, Bill. Appreciate it.
And here we go again, back to table number 3. I know people, well, maybe not. Maybe a few people keep track because we do like to move around the restaurant. Let's tell people you are the General Manager right here at the Houston Palm, the world-famous Palm Restaurant. What have you brought for us today?
Well, first of all, we're going to have a great topic of conversation that applies to anything, restaurant, from anything at all, every industry. But before that, I'm looking at this chicken parmigiana that we have sitting in the center of the table, and
We
it's
both
almost
are, in
all
fact,
I can
that's
think
right.
about at the moment. But we were just talking about how, the Palm is an Italian restaurant, and certainly we've been called a steakhouse for many years just because of the quality of steak and the wonderful steaks we've served since Manhattan in the 20s, 30s.
The very beginning of the Palm.
But we started as an Italian restaurant, originally supposed to be called Parma after the name of the hometown of our owner's grandfathers. We have morphed into, in the 60s, bringing fresh, live Nova Scotia lobster on the menu. But our roots are Italian, and here comes Ben, our employee of the quarter, actually, with our half and half as well. But we have the fried onions and potatoes here, and this incredible chicken parmesan. Would love to have people come out and try the Italian. Plenty of delicious steaks and lobsters, but this is where our roots are. The one I mentioned one time that a favorite guest and someone a lot of people in Houston would know always says, Leslie, it's the best red sauce joint in town. So think of Italian, think of us. If somebody at the table wants a steak, we're certainly here for that, but we kind of meet all the needs.
That's exactly right. Sometimes people do forget that the heart is, and the beginnings of the Palm are as an Italian restaurant, but you certainly have so many Italian dishes, and we're talking about the food is on, there is food on the table, the chicken parmesan, the half and half. So if you're listening to the radio, you can imagine it. It does smell excellent, both dishes. But also, I would encourage you to go to my YouTube channel and see the video after the broadcast, because you'll see us sitting in table 3, Leslie Barkley and me, with some great food before us. So, but the chicken parmesan, Leslie, is not the only Italian dish. There are veal martini, one of my
veal martini,
favorites.
yes, you do enjoy the veal. We have lots of veal. We have incredible linguine and white clam sauce. That is probably something that I see ordered multiple times an evening. You can do one of these veal or chicken dishes with a half order of pasta, but just putting pasta on the table at the Palm is a great decision. It's just great Italian
It really
food.
is. In fact, I've recently had, on 2 occasions, 2 of my visits to the Palm, the last 2, in fact, I had the clams oreganato.
Yep.
Now, sometimes, and as we ate the clams oreganato, not only were they tremendous, but the broth or sauce, I almost want to call it a broth, but the sauce that is one of the main parts of the clams oreganato, even after the clams were gone, we found ourselves just dipping the bread into that sauce.
I would be really offended if you hadn't.
Because that sauce, I don't know what's in it. It's certainly butter, but it's more than butter. There's some Italian seasoning in there that is just killer.
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Once again, for those listening, clams oreganato is a tremendous little appetizer right here at the Palm in Houston.
Absolutely.
And every other Palm, I think.
Yeah. Well, now that we're both starving,
We are.
we can move on to our topic for the day.
And that is...
I just wanted to talk about people. I love the Successful Living format in the show, and people are listening from every walk of life and certainly every industry. The idea that people are behind everything all of us do is absolute truth. And certainly in the service industry and restaurant industry, it's about the people, both our internal guests, which would be our employees, and the external guests, which would be the guests coming in through the door, which at the Palm we genuinely call all of those family. But people's important everywhere, and I thought, across every industry, I thought of this especially over the weekend. I had a family member of mine from Philadelphia call, and he had longtime friends of his coming in to the restaurant from MD Anderson. They're in town because of the incredible medical care in Houston. So when they got here, I had the pleasure of meeting this family who is going through treatments for our friend named John. And the medical care that he's receiving here is so specialized. He was talking about how he has never experienced doctors that, when you're walking down the hallways of the hospitals at MD Anderson, look at you, ask how you're doing, and genuinely meaning whether they're your patient or not. The family itself is treated, not just the person that's there for the actual medical care, but the entire family is brought in, and the entire family is talked to with all of the information. And the implications of their treatment is very important to the family. So, I was really thinking about this while we're taking care of them here at the restaurant, that in the medical field, you must think it's a no-brainer. Of course people are everything. But the truth is, we forget sometimes that the core of even medical research, let's say, the people that are in the labs and wearing the coats and dealing with the all the tiny little tools, et cetera, and microscopes, it's about people for them as well.
The medicine is made by people, invented by people. There are people, as you're saying, the associates that you work with here that are part of your team, the guests that come in the door, and there are those behind the scenes. The kitchen here, there are people in there doing a tremendous job every day.
Mm-hmm. So the idea is that, we're working on all of these things across all these industries, but at the core, for every single one of them, someone is going to be the recipient of whatever it is you're producing. And when I was thinking of the medical field specifically, I mean, somebody is going to possibly be cured with the work that a researcher's doing. So when he's hunched over in a lab, obviously people have to matter most to him. Then you've got my industry, of course, restaurants. We have a sauté cook here named Leonardo. Leonardo's been with us about 20 years, so he's youngin'.
Wow.
And I always say no one twists the spaghetti in a bowl the way Leonardo does. I've even written it on the whiteboard before, in the kitchen. But the truth is, when our guests see the spaghetti and it's twisted the way he twists it, visually we eat with our, we eat visually first. The first thing we can do is taste with our eyes in a way, when the
That's
food
exactly
comes
right.
to the table. I don't know how I'm going to stop staring at the food in front of us right now. The cook has to care about the person and about people just as much as the general manager of a restaurant does, just as much as a medical researcher or the actual oncologist handling a gentleman who's suffering through a terrible experience. We all have to care about people. We have to see beyond what it is that we're doing in front of our face or right in front of us, and know what the end result is. What is the result of this? What am I doing? I've been in the advertising industry, and I've done that. People, it's always about people. What are we, what is the effect on people that this product is going to have? Is it positive? Well, wonderful. How do we get that across? But every day we're designing something or sitting at a desk, we've got to be thinking about the people that we're affecting.
Indeed, the people that we are serving. And as you mentioned, Leonardo, as he twists the pasta in a certain way. The other thing, as we're all individuals, when we talk about the subject of people, yes, we're all different, like fingerprints, all that, our personalities, our background, our future, all those things are different. But whatever we do, it could be something, and I cannot help but think of Leonardo da Vinci when you say the word Leonardo, but certainly someone Leonardo da Vinci. But all of us, no matter our stature in life, everything we do, every little detail can be great. And we as people put our mark on what we do, the twisting of the pasta. If we are giving a presentation for someone, the way we have things organized. I heard of a realtor one time, actually the realtor who's been on this show, talking about he one of the homes he listed was Michael Jordan's home, and his name was Kofi, his first name, and he said, when I get a home ready for listing, I always just turn the chair. I have the Kofi slant. So we all like to have our individuality show out there in our work, especially for those, and most of us, we hope, take pride in their work, certainly here at your organization and those that are successful.
Absolutely, and that's another fantastic industry to even consider, real estate industry. Whether you're looking to buy or rent a home, ultimately everyone in that industry is working toward the individual. We're working for the individual, for a person, and so I love thinking about it. We go to work every day. Presumably spend more than 40 hours in America. We spend more than 40 hours a week at our jobs. And we're away from maybe the other family, the one that we have by blood or have chosen, and we leave them and we come here. And if we see our job as a series of duties, if I see my job as a management of a profit and loss form, or a management of a budget, and my scheduling for my employees as an Excel spreadsheet, we won't be successful. But I don't think that we're going to desire spending those 40 plus hours, 60 plus, 70 plus hours a week away from our home.
120.
Right. Yeah. So it's, even if you don't feel that it's about people every day, wake up and make that choice. Remind yourself, I'm coming to work today. It isn't about the spreadsheet or the P&L, about this commission on a home, or the research I'm doing in a lab, but there are people behind this that are going to receive what it is I'm doing, and they're important, and that, I think, changes our day.
A couple things come to mind. Certainly in your organization and any organization, especially for leaders like yourself, choosing the right people are very important. And one of the things when we choose the right people, or we're being served or in whatever form by someone that we recognize that, hey, they have it, they understand it, and that is, there's a book I must reference. It's called Winning with People by John C. Maxwell. It's been out many years, and what makes that interesting and so effective and such a big selling book, I think it's been out maybe 2-3 decades, Winning with People, John C. Maxwell, is that he puts it into people principles, and many of them are, they're easy to remember, although I don't remember them all. I do remember at least one or two, and that is, he has things called, he puts it into principles, the elevator principles. And certainly here in your restaurant, from the person that parks the car to the person that greets the person, the servers, and everyone else here, it's called the elevator principle, and that is that we, in our lives, and certainly in the service business, have the ability to lift people up.
Yep.
Or bring them down,
Yep.
right? We want people in the service business to give people a lift.
Right, exactly. And to go back to my own industry now, we have folks that come in and, oh my goodness, I can't tell you how many times this has happened, especially being in such close proximity to the hospitals here, the incredible hospital system. We have folks come in and they sit down and they enjoy a meal, and if we were to simply take an order and simply say hello and goodbye on their way in and out, we would never know that. In this about 2 weeks ago, I had someone in for this reason. They were celebrating being free of a medical condition that they had suffered from for a long time, and they came here to celebrate. And they came here to celebrate with one loved one, but also some of their favorite food and a specific server that we have here that they love and adore, that's been here for, I told you Leo was a baby at 20 years. This server's been here for 39 years. And, that
Wait,
is...
wait, let's just stop there a second. Not all restaurants, first of all, not all restaurants have been around that long, but let's just stop at that for a second. You have a server that has been here at the Palm in Houston at this address for...
39 years, not just one.
My goodness, that's quite a run. Huh?
In fact, the gentleman that made this chicken parmigiana that we're looking at, and the half and half that we're looking at, his name is Rahino. He's been here for 41 years. 41.
Incredible.
Since 1978. So, by looking at him, you'd have to guess he was 1 year old when he started. But he's a sous chef, and he has been here since the day we opened the doors. We have several servers that have been here for 39 to 40 years, and one that's been here between here and Las Vegas for all 40 years. So 20 years there, 20 years here. But our server assistant walking by right now, 10 plus years, and in that is his role. It's the role he loves. That's what I'm saying. if you value people and you value finding out more than just the fact that somebody came in for a bite to eat, and you value that there must be a reason behind everybody walking through these doors, then you end up making relationships and building family. And yes, it can equal success, but I think more importantly, it's what makes you want to leave your house for 60 hours a week and spend time at doing this job that you get paid to do, you know? And I was in the ad agency, then I was part-time doing that and part-time waiting tables at night for almost 5 years until I switched into the restaurant industry full-time. So waiting tables and being a server reignited my connection with people after being behind a desk for 11 years. And it was during those 5 years of transition between the desk and here that I realized my genuine passion would be being in front of more people, and that would be the restaurant industry. But when I look back at the desk job too, the relationships I built over the phone and the people that I worked with over the phone, they mattered just as much as the people walking into my restaurant. There isn't a single industry where at the end of the tunnel there isn't a person that is important that you should be working for.
We've used the term, you have used the term as far as work, our career, what we do to put bread and chicken parmesan on our various tables. And that is, I have to reference in the idea of success. We talk about success. What is success? It's different to everybody. When we talk about work, and I remember John Maxwell, once again, his quote, he says, it's not work unless you'd rather be doing something else. Now,
That's a good one.
Yeah, indeed. If you're doing something that you wouldn't take compensation for, that means you're in the right place. You're being successful in your endeavors and your career. Also, you talk about the tenure here. Now, I was here just the other night. It seemed like 2 nights ago because I think it was. And you have people that have been around a long time, 39 years, 30, and all that. However, I had one of your new people that I've never seen before, and I think he's new to the team. So as a leader, you're blending people that have the tenure, and then you have to find the right people to join the team. Let's tell people how you do that to be able to blend the people with the long tenure and to make sure you're finding the right people that could have the long tenure when it's time for someone new or several people new.
Sounds great, and I think this can work across any industry as well. But you could say that training is everything, which it is. Training is extremely important. But I got to tell you, my interview process is exhausting to me personally because I talk so much. But it is exhausting because what I lay out before every new employee is not just, well, here's how you wait tables. This is what I need from you. What's your availability? But the idea behind my interview is I'm going to introduce you. I want to find out who you are, where you came from, etc. I want to know everything about this person that I could possibly know that would be affecting in the industry, even where they live, if they have family in the area. I like finding out all of that. What kind of support system do they have around them? Then I go into the history of the Palm. I go to the history of the Palm as a whole and the history of the Palm in Houston. I'm very honest about all of it, and I like to give them every bit of information. And what I say to every employee is I want you to be able to walk in every day. I want to be able to look you in the eye and know that anything that happens throughout a day, I already told you. And we've already established a trust relationship in the interview where I've told you about our history, I've told you what I expect, and I know who you are and what your goals are in life. If their goal is to have a job and go into another industry, this is the type of industry that's very supportive of. So I like knowing those goals, and then how can we help them achieve them? If you're interviewing knowing what a person's ultimate goals are, you can, the entire time they're employed with you, help them toward that in any way that works. And typically you retain them through the process they're going through to obtain the goal. I mean, I'm kind of saying it in a roundabout way, but I have people that are maybe going to college or people that are switching careers later in life, and they'll stick with us in order to achieve those goals if we are working with them. And often, as other changes happen in their life, they come back. So retaining people, caring about the interview process, and establishing the relationship in an honest way from minute one, from the first interview where they sit down with me, is extremely important. And that I think is true in any industry.
Indeed. And Leslie, with the last few minutes, what else would you like people to know about what's going on here at the Palm, or anything else that relates to people? And I know two people that are getting hungry, and that's you. And
yes.
and let me remind people one other time, and that is, if you want to see us on the YouTube channel, simply go to my name, Bill Knapik. That's Knapik. The K is silent. Bill Knapik radio shows, and you'll see not just this show and the superfood that's before us, but you'll see many other shows that we've been on, right, Leslie?
Absolutely. So come see me to meet me, and for me to meet you. I think the topic today would express that I genuinely care about people. But also, we have not just the incredible Italian food, and of course the steaks and lobsters, but we have events all the time. We have a wine or whiskey dinner or some sort of dinner event every single month that Lauren, our sales manager, sets up. She's been doing this for years with the Palm. She's amazing, throws the best parties. If you're thinking of having a ladies' night out or a book club, we just did a book club dinner where they did their book club discussion and had hors d'oeuvres and drinks and such in a private room. We have 3 different sizes of private rooms, 2 or 1 depending on how we open them. But coming in for happy hour, we have a fantastic happy hour and really fun bartenders, the 2 of which I'm looking at right now. Can't help but smile when you look at them. But the truth is, we've always got something going on, and I would love to meet more people. Have you hang out with us.
In fact, Sunday afternoon, it's always great to be at the Palm, but there's something about being here around 5 o'clock, 5:30 Sunday, as we think about the new week, depending how you look at it. That's just also a nice special time right here at the Palm.
That's true. It's also, if you're looking for Italian food, it's kind of like that Sunday supper. We used to even do specials on Sundays. We're considering that again, where it's just focuses on the Italian food and Sunday suppers. You come in, you enjoy a meal with your family before everybody gets back to work. We open at 5 o'clock, and we, in addition to doing just the regular dining room, have happy hour all day on Sunday. I don't know if anybody knew that. But we do run happy hour on Sunday, yes.
So happy hour all day on Sunday.
Yeah, the only day we don't have happy hour is Saturday. Every other day from 5 to 7 and Sunday all day. So
we are talking with Leslie Barkley, General Manager of the Houston Palm Restaurant right here on Westheimer. And if they want to make a reservation, Leslie?
Come see me. Please call 713-977-2544 or do it through Open Table or through thepalm.com.
And the phone number again?
713-977-2544.
And most importantly, say hi to Leslie Barkley, and you might even see me here depending when you're here.
That's true.
You've been listening to
if you're lucky.
That's right. Successful Living with Bill Knapik, and today from Table 3 at the Houston Palm. Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you, Bill.